携手同心，共享民族复兴的伟大荣光。
The stage is being set for a war with China over Taiwan, right under our noses, while governments are dipping insults and accusations quietly. Military bases, weapons, and training have been well underway in the countries surrounding Taiwan. This is the way war starts, not suddenly out of nowhere, but with careful planning, years in advance. Here is how this one is beginning. Over the past 2 years, a complex scene of U.S. diplomacy, military logistics, and strategic posturing has underscored the escalating tensions regarding Taiwan's security. The narrative has been punctuated by an increase of U.S. diplomats' voices advocating for Taiwan defense aimed growing Chinese assertiveness. In this video, I will discuss whether such a conquest of Taiwan is truly imminent and how the U.S. and its allies might be preparing for such an eventuality. My name is Dr. David Walalu, and you are watching Geopolitics in Conflict. Please remember to keep an open mind while you are watching this video, and big thanks to our sponsor for today's show, GetWarmNow.com.
I personally would say this is more of the rhetoric. It has to be said that Taiwan is always part of China from Xi's perspective.
The geopolitical landscape of the Pacific has, according to the West, long been marked by escalating tensions, many of them driven by China's military ambitions and assertiveness claims over Taiwan. Yet, the historical records and facts show that Taiwan is part of China, whether the West likes it or not. And though China and Taiwan have a long history punctuated by the Chinese Civil War, many political experts remain adamant that reunification is not the only reason for China's interest in the islands. After all, the strategic significance of Taiwan cannot be overstated. Indeed, its pivotal location as the first island chain offers control over key maritime routes, making it a jewel in the crown for regional dominance. This has drawn the concerned eye of the United States and its allies, including Australia, who view China's potential actions toward Taiwan not just as a regional threat, but as a challenge to the global order and security architecture. As though the West hasn't already destabilized the global security order through its made-up conflicts, be they in Ukraine and Europe or Latin America and the Middle East. Policy towards Taiwan has been nuanced, navigating the delicate balance through the One China policy, while simultaneously ensuring Taiwan remains able to defend itself. This has led many, including leaders of both nations, to accuse the U.S. of wanting to have its cake and eat it too. By recognizing Beijing as the government of China, but rejecting its sovereignty over Taiwan, the U.S. has been able to maintain profitable relationship with both Beijing and Taipei. Now it seems that U.S. leaders, alongside those of many other nations, will soon be forced to make a choice. Amidst this backdrop, there is a growing narrative suggesting that the tensions over Taiwan could accelerate the decoupling of U.S.-China relations. Right now, there is immense speculation that China may soon attempt to occupy Taiwan, perhaps in an effort to capitalize on a world distracted by Ukraine and Israel. However, others like British economist Philip Pilkington argue that China could leverage its economic might to pull Taiwan into its sphere of influence without resorting to a military force. Either way, China seems adamant that it wants Taiwan, and it will continue to view any effort to militarize the island with intense scorn. Specifically, China seems undeterred by U.S. military support and has yet to blink at the idea of one small island bringing the world's two largest superpowers into a direct confrontation. The recent appointment of Admiral Dong Zhong as China's defense minister underscores a strategic focus on naval capabilities, reflecting President Xi Jinping's maritime ambitions. This shift towards a naval-centric military posture, combined with Xi's broader national rejuvenation goals, hints at a future where military assertiveness in the maritime domain and territorial disputes in the East and South China Seas becomes more pronounced. Now the question becomes the show of force. The Talisman Sabre exercises along Australia's role as a U.S. submarine hub underscores a concerted effort by the United States and its allies to ensure readiness and strategic dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. The latest iteration, Talisman Sabre 23, marked a significant milestone in this endeavor, drawing nearly 30,000 troops from 13 nations, including first-time participants from the Pacific Islands. Indeed, this large-scale bi-yearly exercise has evolved beyond demonstration of military might. Many now see it as reflecting a unified commitment to a free and open Asia-Pacific. Moreover, the observation of exercise Talisman Sabre 2023 by countries like India and the Philippines signal a potential shift in the strategic landscape. Both countries now seem interested in joining future exercises, which clearly demonstrates a recalibration of strategic postures in response to potential regional threats. In short, the Indo-Pacific is flexing its muscles at the behest of Western powers. Moreover, the message and the intended recipient seems to be quite clear. When we look at the increased partnership, what do we see? The AUKUS submarine deal, for example, particularly the SRF West Initiative, represent yet another tectonic shift in defense collaborations within the Indo-Pacific. The agreements involved equipping Australia with nuclear-powered US and UK attack submarines in the interest of enhancing collective deterrence capabilities. Indeed, Australia's transformation into central hub for supporting high-end US military operations not only expand its strategic role, but also cements a trilateral commitment to maintaining regional stability. What analysts in the West refrained from stating is that now Australia has also become a primary target. But submarines are just one part of the equation. Britain, the US, and Australia will also share underwater drones, electronic warfare, and other advanced military technologies. In this case, it's difficult to deny that the intention is to showcase some assertiveness in a region dominated by China's growing influence. In that way, it's not entirely different from Kim Jong-un firing of missiles into the sea. Nonetheless, these nations cannot deny their economic and political ties to China. As one analyst puts it, and I quote, "It's bombs and bluster on Friday, but comes Monday, it's all handshakes and hypocrisy." End of quote. For its part, the United States seems particularly eager to assemble a multi-country coalition that could stand against what it sees as damaging Chinese influence. For instance, in 2023, the US military and Taiwanese forces engaged in sophisticated war games designed to simulate a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. These simulations revealed several distinct vulnerabilities in current strategies and prompted a significant shift from a just-in-time logistic model to a just-in-case framework. The same year, The United States also expanded the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement with the Philippines to include additional bases near critical areas like the South China Sea and Taiwan. The agreements focus on upgrading military infrastructure, including airstrip repairs and the construction of essential facilities, mirrors the broader U.S. objective of fortifying its strategic posture in the face of evolving geopolitical tensions. Meanwhile, U.S. Admiral John Aquilino visited Thailand to shore up military partners there, and Navy Admiral Samuel Paparo remarked on how helping Ukraine could provide a bulwark against westward Chinese influence. These aren't small people talking a small game, but influential military leaders essentially admitting that something is afoot in the Indo-Pacific. This dangerous geopolitical landscape is further complicated by Russia's naval might demonstrations and China's warning against NATO expansion into Asia-Pacific. In fact, these developments, alongside China and Russia's joint military drills, seems to indicate that the two Eastern superpowers feel they have no option but to further enhance their own strategic partnership in the face of mounting opposition. Then becomes the question about international cooperation and expansion. In response to escalating tensions in the Pacific, particularly concerning Taiwan, the U.S. has dramatically intensified its efforts to expand and diversify its military logistics network across the region. This strategic expansion, encompassing Australia, the Philippines, India, and Japan, aims to bolster logistics and readiness in the face of potential conflict with China, Russia, or, as seems more likely now, both. Whatever the United States' real goal might be, current and future administrations will confront a multitude of challenges when it comes to expanding logistics across the Pacific. Among these are budgetary constraints and an aging transport fleet, which collectively pose significant hurdles to enhancing the defense and logistics capabilities necessary for maintaining a credible deterrent posture. Critics also argue that the pace and focus of U.S. efforts to strengthen defenses in the Pacific have fallen short of the requirements dictated by the rapidly evolving security environment. Incidents involving aggressive military encounters between the United States and China, such as the interception of the U.S. spy plane by Chinese fighter jets, highlights the escalating tensions and underscores the need for a robust and resilient military logistic network capable of supporting U.S. and allied forces in the region. Then comes the idea of the compounding the logistic and strategic challenges. How significant they might be? Well, you look at the recruiting difficulties faced by the United States military. Army Secretary Christine Wormuth recently outlined what she called a systemic recruiting crisis, one that paints a grim picture of the United States Armed Forces' ability to attract new members. Factors contributing to these challenges include the lowest ever percentage of service-eligible Americans and declining interest in military service. She also highlighted societal barriers such as perceptions of military life and concerns over political polarization. In response, the United States military has explored various strategies to bolster recruitment, including the introduction of innovative marketing campaigns, policy adjustments, financial incentives, and yes, allowing illegal immigrants to serve. Here is my conclusion for you. The intricate blend of diplomacy, military aid, and strategic maneuvers undertaken by the United States and its allies over the past few years outlines a comprehensive strategy aimed at securing peace and stability in the Pacific region. The particular focus, while it may not be stated outright, is maintaining Taiwan's sovereignty amidst escalating Chinese assertiveness. The substantial military aid provided to Taiwan, alongside the strategic military exercises such as Talisman Sabre and the groundbreaking AUKUS submarine deal, underscores not only a robust commitment to deter potential aggression and ensure a balance of power in the Indo-Pacific, but also fomenting more tensions in the region. However, there are critics of this endeavor, and while some of them can be dismissed as simply pro-China or anti-Taiwan, may see U.S. efforts in the region as more likely to cause trouble than defend against it. More importantly, they would rather see a wedge driven between Russia and China to prevent the two superpowers from becoming further united against the West. For now, a useless NATO and the United States seem to be hell-bent on pushing the two countries into a corner where they have little choice but to act. We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about the United States' effort to secure the Indo-Pacific region and defend Taiwan. Feel free to comment, but as always, we ask that to try to keep things civil so we can have an informed discussions that benefits everyone. Also, please like, share, and subscribe for more comprehensive and balanced political analyses